If ever President Tinubu would lose the 2027 elections, it will not be as a result of insecurity, but as a result of insincerity. The president and his party have been quite insincere about a number of things, and that might be his undoing in the 2027 presidential election. Quite a number of issues that the president had golden opportunity to turn around things in this country, whether it's about subsidy removal or the floating of the naira or the so-called jubilation regarding local government autonomy, and then, more importantly, the issue of state police. When the president was a governor between 1999 and 2007, the president as governor wished there was state police so that as a governor he could determine the security of Lagos State. He could also enforce the laws of Lagos State in a way that will promote the development and welfare of the people of Lagos State. Now, when the president at that time also moved to become the leader of various political parties, whether it's the Alliance of Democracy, the Action Congress in Nigeria, and then ultimately the All Progressive Congress, the president has always led his party to campaign for state police. And then the president endorsed former President Muhammadu Buhari, who was president for 8 years, under which the APC in its manifesto, aptly declared by then Nasir El-Rufai, touted the establishment of state police. 8 years passed, nothing happened under the APC. This president promised so much that there will be the establishment of state police so that governors and even local government chairmen can have some measure of responsibility in determining local security. The president hasn't done much about that. Much was said about the 36 state governors supporting the idea of state police. Much was also said about the readiness of the National Assembly to join hands with the president for the establishment of state police. Now, the president is being embarrassed. The wave of insecurity has left northern Nigeria, has left northeastern Nigeria, and is right in the doorstep of the president's region in Oyo State. Children have been kidnapped, and the country appears to be on its knees, and the president is helpless. The president has been insincere about his commitment to ensuring that policing is local so that we can have multiplicity of responsibility in ensuring security in our country. What the president has done is another expression of the tragedy of African leadership, where leaders in Africa do not really push for national or people interest. The president still has a golden opportunity in the next 6 months before we face the real music of the general elections to show that kind of commitment with which he changed the national anthem, that gusto with which he commandeered the popularity and the majority of the All Progressive Congress and National Assembly to have the national anthem changed. To think that all of this talk about state police, the president never believed in establishing state police because it would not serve his immediate interest, political interest, all kind of show that the president is not acting in the best interest and has been insincere. That insincerity will be the president's greatest undoing in the coming elections. Now, the question of whether or not the elections will be free and fair is a subject matter for another discussion on my podcast. However, the president must realize that we do not live forever, and that the countries of this world, the nations of this world, and the continents of this world, the regions of this world that have made much progress than Black Africa, is because they had leaders that thought in generational terms, leaders that put themselves at the saddle for the purpose of ensuring that even when they leave the stage, their life for their children and for their countrymen will be better. It's not like that for African leaders. President Tinubu, you have another opportunity. Come to terms with your promises. Well, you did promise that there will be savings from subsidies. Nigerians are hungrier. You've borrowed much money. And it doesn't really translate to any improvement. We see that there are immediate gains in contracts that have been awarded for roads, construction that are actually on a very monumental stage. However, Nigerians don't see that sincerity on your part as a father, as someone who is committed to ensuring that life is better for them. How much do you care about the security of Nigerians to the extent that you would ensure that today governors can no longer have any excuse in the fact that they don't control any police force? You are in charge of security. You control the army. You control all forms of security, especially security that's armed security. Yet, Nigeria is not safe. President, you've got 6 months to turn things around. Continue.